random matchup. Yeah, 2 spins, get to pick between those 2 teams. And if I don't like either of those, I can switch one more time, and that's the team I gotta stick with. This one, I only have to do it once, unless it's the same team. We got the Bears, and we got the Broncos. Oh my god, dude. Let's do one more spin. Alright, we got the Seattle Seahawks. I'll rock with that. I can work with that.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store. Between the Dallas Cowboys, they'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line, and the Seattle Seahawks. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing, Prescott. Connects here with the tight end, Blake Jarwin. Powering his way forward.
That's it, baby. We're going to work. Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us for their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Elliott. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Randall Cobb there to make the grab. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, coming out here. And while the MVP award looks like it will be Lamar Jackson's, not Russell Wilson's, he had a heck of a season. Over 4,000 yards for the third time, 31 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions. And CD, while we saw the emergence of DK Metcalf late in the year, does Russell Wilson need more surrounding him firepower-wise offensively?
They certainly do, and I think the Seattle will work to get that. And if they're looking at the receiver position and you're looking at the draft, it's a really deep wide receiver class for 2020. So they'll have opportunities there. I think they'll just continue to fortify. They're going to want to get their running backs back. They had a couple that got dinged at the end of the year, and Chris Carson and Rashad Penny. But they get back to being Seattle that way, running the heck out of it and throwing to those big wide receivers. They feel pretty good about what Dangerous can give them at the quarterback position. And how about what he did at the Pro Bowl?
That was neat.
Was that, right? Yeah. He was voted the starter, looked at Drew Brees and said, hey, you're Drew Brees. You should start ahead of me, and gave up his position. Very cool.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on 4th down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down here early in the game.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They try again with Lynch. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
And that set up everything in the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Dallas takes over possession. It was a tough year in Big D. This was a team with Super Bowl aspirations in training camp. Got off to the 3-0 start. Got Zeke signed and in the fold, but then the wheels started to come off from that 3-0 record. 5-8 the rest of the way for an 8-8 finish. Not enough to win a down NFC East, and also not enough for Jason Garrett to keep his job. So now Mike McCarthy enters the fold.
And when you look back at this roster, and as you said, a team with Super Bowl aspirations, this is not a team that was overhyped, as is often the case with the Dallas Cowboys. That was a legitimate deal in my estimation. That roster was good enough to contend for a Super Bowl. Just never really got going with consistency. Couldn't beat the better teams that they played. And as you noted, finished 8-8. Mike McCarthy takes over a very good roster. A young quarterback in Dak Prescott. So it's the second act for Mike McCarthy. He has something he feels like he needs to prove after the way it ended in Green.
Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 53 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. As Seattle jogs back on the field here, you can't help but think with their season that the old cliche, the game of inches, comes into play for the 2019 Seahawks, because Week 17, that game against the 49ers, Jacob Hollister tackled inches from the goal line, maybe a half a yard. That really changed everything, didn't it?
It certainly did, because if Hollister scores and Seattle wins, they end up getting the open week and getting that little extra rest in the playoffs, and San Francisco goes to Philadelphia to play. And in my mind, San Francisco beats Philadelphia but doesn't advance to the Super Bowl. They needed the break as well as Seattle. Seattle went to Philadelphia, had a tough one there, and then got beat at Green Bay in the very next round. So you're exactly right. To me, in my mind, that little bit of space changed everything for them. And by the way, Jacob Hollister did everything correct on that play. The ball was in the correct arm, because everybody said, well, if he had the other arm, he would have scored. But that's not how you hold it in that situation. It was just a terrific tackle by Drain Greenlaw that changed the fortunes for both of those teams.
Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 27-yard line. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's
nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. To try again after the sack. Wilson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. Well, partner, let's put a bow on the Super Bowl for Kansas City. What a comeback win. Yet another come-from-behind victory for Patrick Mahomes and company. An absolute heartbreak for San Francisco.
Didn't Madden predict Kansas City would win the game?
Yes, 35-31, I believe they predicted.
I felt like most of the predictions I saw had the game in the 30s. So a little bit lower scoring than we expected. But a lot of fireworks down the stretch, all by Kansas City. But how about San Francisco? Had the lead in the ball, under 12 minutes to go, and held Kansas City to 10 points through 3 quarters. And somehow they're winging their way back to San Francisco, trying to understand how they lost that game.
Yeah, not only did Kansas City win it, but they end up winning it by 11 points. They didn't see that coming at all.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. That's Elliott. Complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
On 1st down, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
2nd and 5 now. Wilson, it's caught, Lockett. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Here's Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
It's a loss of 4. Brings up 3rd and 36 power.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson, end zone caught, touchdown Seattle. Will Disley there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. On 1st down, Elliott. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. Prescott on 3rd and 2. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead.
In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Throwing is Wilson. Lockett with a grab over the middle. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Now it's Wilson. He's got this one complete to John Ursua. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Wilson now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Over the middle, it's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wilson going down the middle, and it's complete. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
14.
Now Wilson on 1st down. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. We have hit halftime. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, he's picked off just shy of midfield. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. He hits his running back, Procise. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good convergence there defensively. Only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 20-yard line. Wilson now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. To throw is Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He turned that into a nice gain, gets them 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They'll run for it with Lynch, and he will not be denied. Into the end zone, touchdown Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as his guys are back within a single score. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
On 2nd down, Elliott. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
That type of run right there, that just fires me up when I watch it, because that's maybe the most underrated aspect of his game. The ability to break tackles and know where the first down chains are and pick them up.
He's tough, good pedigree. Dad Stacy was a linebacker at Missouri.
Yeah, and how about Mom on the track team? So I think that's where the speed came from. And she's not shy about letting us know that, too.
Yeah, I got the best of both worlds. 10th carry now for Elliott. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He finds Ursua. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Now it's Wilson. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's in. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run the screen with Carson. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Here's Carson. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with his 2nd touchdown of the night, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with an extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good, and an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Elliott, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And that's Elliott, complete. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Prescott yet again. Rolling to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely, great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 2nd down now, and a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
Back to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Jacob Hollister there to make the grab. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice.
Oh, Prescott stripped. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Now Prescott. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there of 22. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He's back to throw. He's got it at the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he's got it It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this